local community situated in the municipality of Navalbiliran. The name Anislagan derived from the Waray word anis or means to gather, and lagan is meaning place. Suggest a historical rule as a central gathering point of the local communities by PhilAtlas 2020. According to the Philippine Statistic Authority, as of 2020 census, it has a population of 748 residents, representing approximately 1.29% of Nabal's total population. Anislagan is a small community where farming and small home business are the primary sources of livelihood. In terms of education, Anislagan is served by the Adventist Elementary School, Anislagan Naval INC, formerly known as Anislagan Elementary School, and Anislagan Adventist Multigrade School, Department of Education, with 820. The school name change in October 2023 reflects its expanded role within the community religiously. It is diverse, with the upper part being predominantly Adventist and the lower part Catholic. Moreover, the barangay features Zac Hot Spring as a significant tourist attraction, which has a natural thermal spring that attracts visitors seeking relaxation and therapeutic benefits.
The purpose of developing this plan in Barangay Anislagan po is to provide secretariat services as an academic institution in alignment with Section 113 of the Local Government Code. Feeling methodology po is procedural kung ginanamon pa conduct the survey. First, we have submit a formal request letter which had been duly signed by them or chairperson and also the instructor to seek approval for conducting research in Barangay Anislagan. After receiving the necessary approval, research team proceeded to barangay. Kumadi po kami Barangay Anislagan to formally present the letter secured by consent and punong barangay. And the letter outlined a research intentions gathered data for the local development plan and to conduct needs assessment survey of every household. And also the researchers utilize a needs assessment survey, which is an survey na gipamatag naman intagos sa naman kada household. And also situational analysis tools were used by researchers to provide comprehensive understanding about Anislagan challenges, specifically the barangay disaster risk reduction management, and identifies the specific needs of barangay program and being implemented by the barangay, as well as the spot map. Na ngayon may spot map para ma-identify kung sa mga hazardos diri sa inyong barangay ang pwede namon mahimuan o mga pwede namon mga kaangayon din na ma-implement na program or project. And that's and let's proceed to demographic profile of the respondents. Figure 1, which is the age of respondents. This pie chart illustrates the population's age distribution in Barangay Anislagan. The most striking feature is the overwhelmingly large proportion, 84% of the population falling within the 15 to 64 age bracket. In contrast, only 16% of the population is in the 65 and above age group, while the 0 to 14 range of age group is entirely absent. In short po, ang amon na survey, based on the result, mas damo ang kababaihan kaysa mga lalaki na amon na survey din sa specific. And figure 2, the civil status of resident din niya yung barangay, which is the marital status of the specific group of barangay Anislagan, and the most dominant is unmarried.
So for the figure 3, this is the gender distribution of the households participated in the survey. Female constitute a significantly larger portion, which is 68% compared to the male, which is 32% only. Mas damo ang um, for the figure 4 is the employment status. This displays status showing a significant majority, 60% are unemployed, substantial portion, 39% are employed, and only very small percentage, 1% are underemployed. For the figure 5, which is the educational attainment level, this illustrates the educational attainment levels. The largest segment, which is 42%, represent individuals who have completed high school, college graduates, and those who completed elementary school, each account for 29% of the total. For the figure 6, activities undertaken by men, which is productive. This chart shows a general matrix of men. The largest portion is 34%, falls under a farmer category, hindering a complete analysis of productive roles. Business is 18%, and construction, which is 21%, represents substantial segments. And then other occupations such as driving, which is 9%, retired teaching 6%, street vendor 9%, ang sangguniang kabataan as teacher matrix 2%, represents a smaller but is notable proportion of the workforce. For the figure 7, activities undertaken by men, which this part is reproductive. This illustrates the involvement of men in reproductive roles, specifically household chores and childcare. A significant majority of 87% report participate in household chores and 5% participated in childcare, while an even smaller percentage, which is 8%, is no involvement in these areas. For the figure 8, activities undertaken by women, productive. This illustrates an involvement of women in productive roles. The largest segment, which is 46%, indicates women who are engaged in any of the business. The next largest segment is 43%, represents the women that didn't engage in productive roles. A smaller number of women work in farming, 6%, while even small proportion work as BNS, 2%, pharmacist assistant 1%, and teacher roles 1%. For the figure 9, activities undertaken by women, reproductive. This illustrates women involvement in reproductive roles like household chores and childcare. The largest segment, 68%, shows women who report involvement in household chores. Childcare accounts for 21% of responses, while 12% report no involvement in either. For the figure 10, problems or issues. Regarding to the data I was reading, it was the result of our survey based on the survey need assessment we conducted here. So for the figure 10, the problem or the issue of the concerns. This chart presents the most prevalent problem of concerns reported in the Barangay Anislagan, with water being the most significant issue at 50% of responses, and followed by dog waste with 42%, indicating a substantial portion reporting significant problem, and none represents the smallest concern, making up the remaining percentage of 8%. So based on our survey, the researcher chose to propose a water system rehabilitation because, based on the survey results, water was the most prevalent problem or concern in Barangay Anislagan, with 50% of respondents identifying it as such. In this proposed development plan, the objective is to rehabilitate the water system to prevent water interruptions. The project is estimated to cost 16,000 pesos and will be completed within a 2 to 3 months time frame. The expected outcome of this water system rehabilitation project is a fully functional water system and a significant reduction in So as you can see, this is our proposed development plan. Next.
Page.
Nasa next.
Now,
Sige.
page 15.
Oo. So if there's, if you have any question regarding
Nag-base po kami
proposed
sila.
development
Nag-propose
plan,
po kami yan kuanan project kay tungod asya to most concernhan
Iyo barangay.
Iyo barangay.
If you have questions, ma'am, sir,
Based na ng survey, yaman kasi nila is mahilig kasi water nga di mag-interruption ito, mahilig mawara-wara ang tubig. Asya nag-propose kami ito na project which is the rehabilitation sa water system. And based po on amount, we have proposed amount, nagbasa po kami ito han 20% han kanan han shares han. And 2 to 3 months po ang time frame. Nagbase po kami dito po ang DILG. Para po accurate po ang aning available na maging gamit na source.
So the expected result is will be 100% functional water system, reduce water and naamoy pang na ma'am, sir. Sa proposed development plan.
If naapoy pa ni sir, ma'am, pag naamoy
Tana.
suggestion na amon po, ready po kami to para ma-improve man amon propose po.
Wala pa rin.
Naapo gihapon kami yung forecasted growth. Ibig sabihin po, in the future, ano po mangyayari if matukod ko dito na rehabilitation
If
sa
amo
water?
ka na if among proposed plan is mangyari diri sa inyong barangay. If ma-implement diri sa inyong barangay.
Makatabang siya o pwede siya magkaadangan yung business. Like, pag damo na po ang water na niya iyo is damo ng supply and water, pwede siya makabulig o makapahimo po kamo didihan.
Also, for our forecasted growth, ma'am, we used UNIS et al. 2023 proposed forecasting method calculates the future water demand for each subsector in the future by considering the model intercept and the explanatory variables. So for this equation, kini siya nga equation, if the x of j, which is the explanatory variable, which is the pipeline, since katong nag-survey ni, ang mga most na good na nakuha ng isang pipeline daw, di maayo, anang, oo, di daw. So, ang mao to ang gigamit as a variable, ang pipeline. So, if the pipeline will be okay, if ma-fix ang inyong mga pipeline dere, and then, so the B coefficient will be effective or will be positive also, then, di ba, naghimo man mo reservoir ron, kunya ma-change ang, kanang 16,000 maamta na siya para na sa pipeline rehabilitation. Kana budget na para sa pag-ayos sa inyong mga tubo. Oo, para na sa tubo. And then, if ma-okay na siya, if na-settle na, smooth na, okay na yung reservoir, okay na inyong mga pipes, and then, if okay na ang water, magkana ay growth ang Barangay Anislagan by many kind of water business, like pwede na mo magdawa ng car wash, pwede sa upos, magpupuko ng car wash, kaya makaabot naman ng water. And then, if na ay budget, ang na ay, as far as I can see, damo doon dire, pwede sila magtukod og water filling station, since okay naman. So, mga to, naanay growth, magkanaay growth ang inyong barangay by employment. So, mga to ang naa sa sulod sa among forecasted growth. Pag ma-okay tanan, magkanaay magtukod ang ubang business, ang ubang mga residents diri sa inyong barangay, na opportunities na magkakaroon. So, that's all of our presentation. We didn't introduce ourselves before we start pala. I'm Lona Berlin. Together with me is
I'm Ryan Christine.
Andiyan may kasi ng gotik po.
thank you so much for the participation. Thank you so much for answering, for listening. Thank you so much, ma'am. Pwede mo mag-vlog na lang kami.